Hey, I'm Taylor, and my brain's a mess. If yours is too, welcome. This podcast is for folks who feel overwhelmed, anxious, or just tired of pretending everything's fine. I'm a therapist, but this isn't therapy, it's real talk about being a human. Let's dive in. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a classic anxious move, catastrophic thinking, or as I like to call it, the oops to apocalypse pipeline. You know the one. You forgot to respond to a text and suddenly your brain is telling you that you're a terrible friend. Everyone hates you and you'll definitely die alone under a pile of unmatched socks. Yep, we're going there. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how to stop the spiral before it takes you down with it. So first off, what is catastrophic thinking? Catastrophic thinking is when your brain jumps to the worst possible conclusion fast. Like really fast. We're talking Olympic level speed. It usually goes something like this. I made a mistake. Therefore, someone is mad at me. Therefore, they'll never trust me again. Therefore, I'll get fired. And then I'll lose my home. And then I'll die sad and alone in a Denny's parking lot. And what makes it tricky is that it feels rational in the moment. Your body reacts to the worst case scenario as if it were already happening, even though you're just sitting on your couch with a lukewarm coffee. So where does this come from? Here's the sciencey part. Your brain evolved to keep you alive, not to keep you calm. It's built to scan for threats constantly. This is a part of the process called neuroception, your nervous system's way of detecting safety or danger without your conscious awareness. Now, if you've been through trauma, chronic stress, or have anxiety, hello, welcome. Your nervous system might be hypersensitive to uncertainty, and uncertainty often feels dangerous. So when something ambiguous happens, like someone doesn't text you back, your brain fills in the blanks with disaster, not because it's broken, but because it's trying to protect you. It's saying, let's prepare for the worst so that you're not caught off guard. But in doing that, it activates your fight or flight response, and suddenly your heart's racing, your chest is tight, and your thoughts are screaming. This isn't drama, it's a physiological response to perceived danger. Sometimes you may be in a spiral and you don't even know it. So sometimes catastrophic thinking is obvious, other times it's sneaky. Here are a few signs that you might be spiraling without realizing it. You're mentally rehearsing an argument that hasn't happened. You're making up entire stories about how someone feels about you. You're obsessing over how you'll fix something that hasn't even gone wrong. You feel physically tense, panicked, or exhausted from your own thoughts. And the worst part, it doesn't help. You don't feel more prepared, you just feel more anxious. So how do we interrupt this loop? The first step is to notice that it's happening. You don't have to stop it right away. You just have to say, oh, I see what's happening. My brain is doing the thing again. That alone creates a little space, and space equals power. Now try this process. First step, name the distortion. Call it what it is, catastrophizing. You can even give it a name. Mine might be Apocalypse Barbie. She's dramatic, sparkly, and loves the worst case scenario. Next, you want to reality check the thought. Ask, what's the actual evidence? What else might be true? What would I say to a friend having this exact thought? Your brain is not a courtroom. You don't need hard proof to challenge a feeling. You just need more than one possible interpretation. Next, you'll want to come back to the body. Catastrophic thinking lives in the body, not just the mind. Try taking 3 slow breaths, naming 5 things you can see around you, faking out your hands are stretching, and drinking water. Yep. Basic stuff, but real. Soothing your nervous system helps the thoughts slow down. Now let's be clear, this is not about toxic positivity. You don't have to pretend everything is fine. You're not gaslighting yourself out of valid fear or stress. What I am saying is, yes, this is uncomfortable. Yes, I'm worried, but there might be another version of this story. So instead of, I'll mess this up and ruin everything, try, I'm scared because I care, but I've handled hard things before. Instead of saying, they didn't text me back, they must be mad, try, they might be busy. I don't have enough information to even assume the worst. Small shifts lead to big relief. Now, you're going to want to keep doing this daily. So, here are a few daily things you can try to build resilience against catastrophic spirals. The first is journaling worst case and best case outcomes side by side. Next is creating an it's okay script that you repeat in high anxiety moments. Then there's spending time with people who regulate your nervous system, not activate it. We've all got that one friend who feels like a whirlwind. And finally, pausing before reacting. Even 10 seconds can interrupt the autopilot. And when all else fails, remind yourself, just because I think it doesn't mean it's true. So, all in all, catastrophic thinking is exhausting, but it's also human. You're not broken because your brain goes worst case. You're not dramatic. You're a nervous system doing its best to keep you safe. And the more awareness and compassion you bring to the spiral, the less power it has. Thanks for being here today, and if this episode made you feel seen, send it to someone else whose anxiety is also writing fan fiction about their downfall. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. If this episode helped you feel a little more human, share it with someone who gets it. You'll find links to blog posts, the Safe and Sound Protocol, and other stuff I mentioned at innerhearttherapy.org. Take care of your messy, brilliant brain. I'll catch you next time.